a seller and you decide to sell a property that's tenant occupied, what's one of the things that we need to do?
Well, I like to say that you should start thinking about this about a year out. And I say that because that tends to be the duration of most people's residential leases.
Right.
And so you want to start thinking about what your plan is for selling so that you can coordinate the end of that lease and the end of that tenancy by extension with your planned sale.
And we have spoken about that in the past, Ashlee, where it's a good idea to speak with your attorney and your accountant
Right.
and make sure you have a clean path.
Yeah, we actually had a case recently where a client did an online lease. They were trying to save money. They drafted their own lease, and no fault on them, but it's really, we don't advise that, because what happened in that case, they had a tax deadline earlier this year and they drafted the lease that went beyond that. And so the tax deadline required them to either sell the property or move back in before that deadline, and their lease prevented them from doing that. And so
Okay, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember you speaking about that. That is where somebody decides. For instance, they might be on Carmel and find a duplex down there and say,
Right.
"Boy, let's buy this."
Mhm.
They buy it, and then they go back to Silicon Valley and say, "Hey, we need to sell this."
Yeah.
And they don't want to meet with an attorney because that might be an hour or two
Yeah.
in fees. And they go online, draft a lease,
Mhm.
and then all the clock is ticking on a time frame
Yeah.
for the IRS in order to to avoid a taxable event.